Well, before this bus became the Capella bus, this was a transit bus driven on the streets of Austin in Texas for more than 2 decades. And day in and day out, there was this huge crew of maintenance people that worked on these buses, and they still work on all those buses every day. And we had the immense pleasure to meet two of those folks, Dennis O'Neill and Michael Donahue. And they have been so helpful to us. They have been giving us all kinds of information, and we come up with a million questions a day to shoot them. And then they kindly enough answer most of those questions to the best of their abilities. And this has been so helpful to us. We want to thank you guys for all this work that you put in this bus and in the all transit buses out there. We want to take a moment to think about all those workers that work in the transit industry, making us getting from point A to point B all the time, and we don't even think about it. We just get into a bus, get into a train, and we get off in our station, and we don't think about sometimes how much work goes into this. And we want to dedicate this video to them. Dennis and Michael, thank you so much for your help, and we hope that we can see you guys one day in the road so you guys can see this bus personally, and then we can have some fun laughing at some old history about these buses. Thank you. What are we doing today?
We are getting jamba juice.
No, we're not getting jumbo juice. We're getting some plywood. And we're on the way to get the plywood, and then we have jumbo juice. We decided to cover this whole back area with some a similar thing that we did in the front of the bus. We decided to go for a 1-inch XPS insulation sheet in here, and then on top of that 1/2 inch of the plywood. I'm cutting. I had to cut from a three by, I think it's 2x4s. Those are called the wood stuff that you buy from the big stores. They are not actually 2 inches by 4, and I needed some strips of 1 inch by whatever, so 1.5. So I stripped them down using the table saw. Sorry I didn't get there. I'm always get very apprehensive when I'm dealing with that table saw. Super intimidating. That machine is really scary. But I think I'm getting a hang of it, like setting up the fence and then the run on the other side, and everything was fine. It was easier than I was imagining. So it was safe, it was fine. So now I'm gonna start cutting to the length and then screwing this down to this. There's like a metal, a sheet metal here, and then there's another one that's under this whole thing. So it's kind of like, there are 2 layers, so I'm not too worried about going through this first layer here. And if I get through at some point, I can just go to the other side and also like spray some protection under there. But I think we should be fine. I need something to bite down into this. So this whole part, I don't have the luxury of everything else that is kind of like wall to wall. So I'm gonna have some weird shapes going on. So I need something to hold down the first layer so I can kind of screw the second layer of the 1/2 inch plywood on top of this. That's the plan. Let's do it.
I'm past wedding day, and my feet turn cold at the tone of those wedding bells. I felt bad, everybody got dressed up, but I knew I'd messed up, so I had to fess up that all I really wanted was just to get drunk as hell. So I jilted that poor woman and I got drunk as hell. I'm talking about hellfire, yeah, hellfire, oh hellfire, that's where I'm bound. I'm talking about hellfire, yeah, hellfire, oh hellfire, that's where I'm bound. Real sinful, needing grace. Sunday morning, knew the place. So I stumbled into church and sat down for a spell. A few minutes in, I felt free of sin, so I polished off my bottle of bathtub gin and got stinking, dirty, awful, drunk as hell. Yeah, right there in the back pew, I got drunk as hell. I'm talking about hellfire, oh hellfire, yeah, hellfire, that's where I'm bound. I'm talking about hellfire, yeah, hellfire, oh hellfire, that's where I'm bound. All right.
Well, I saw the towers fall while I was watching my TV. I cursed the bastards that done it. Joined up with the Marines. We killed more than a few. Some of them got away. We're still there more than 10 years later. Is it worth it? I can't say. But all things considered, when the day is done, well, I'm not laying in Section 60 down in Arlington. I haven't had a job or a home since I come back from the war. I was doing all right there for a while. Must have had one too many tours. Now I got drug addiction and that PTSD. Saddam is dead, but we never did find those WMDs. But all things considered, when the day is done, I'm not laying in Section 60 down in Arlington. I lost the bottom half of both of my legs to an IED. Lots of us warriors with faces missing. Is that the price of liberty? I'm not ready to run no marathon or to climb McKinley. Just being a mother to both of my children, that's good enough for me. But all things considered, when the day is done, well, I'm not laying in Section 60 down in Arlington. Laying in Section 60 down in Arlington. I got my ride home through Dover Air Force Base. Got a final salute from an honor guard. They carried me in a flag-draped case. My fighting days are over. No more guessing who's the enemy. I hope my sacrifice means something and America stays free. And all things considered, now that my job is done,
After a long week installing the subfloor in the back of the bus,
we decided to take some time off before Thanksgiving. It's about to be 1 year since we started to build our tiny house, and we're so grateful for having the opportunity to work on our dreams. Building the bus is fun, but sometimes it's good to take a break.